Okay, at this time, we'll be calling to order the November 19th, 2025 regular meeting of the Community Safety Committee. Member Ballantyne, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure, no problem. So stand. Put your hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I forgot that part.
Okay, roll call. Mr. Secretary, could you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. Committee Member Ballantyne,
Here.
Committee Member Tan. Here. Committee Member Hom. Committee Member Nam. Committee Member De Leon. Committee Member Rosario. Committee Member Kim. Committee Member Vora. Vice Chair Wilson.
Here.
Chair Gonzalez.
Here. Fellow committee members, can we make a motion to excuse members? Let's give it a minute for Leah. Okay, can we recognize that member Nem walked in?
Yes, we'll note that Member Nam walked in at 7:02.
Thank you. And at the same time, if we could make a motion to excuse the following members: Member Kim, Rosario, and Vora. Do I have a motion?
Motion to excuse.
Is there a second? There's been a motion to excuse the members. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to item 4, review and consideration of informal presentation. Mr. Secretary, could you go
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good evening, committee members, members of the community. Tonight, we have with us Director Alvin Papa and Assistant Public Works Director Chris Kubert. They're with us here this evening to make presentation, an informational report on recent changes that have gone through or items that we're working on relating to our water and sewer rates. So for tonight's presentation, I'll turn it over to Mr. Kubert, and he and I and Mr. Papa will be available to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carey. Good evening, committee members. My name is Chris Kubert, Assistant Director of Public Works for the City of Cerritos. Tonight, I will give a brief look at the proposed 2025 water and sewer rate changes. I'll also give a short summary of a possible low-income assistance program in development. Alvin Papa and myself will be here to answer any questions at the end of the presentation. Current rates have been unchanged for 7 years and have not changed since July 2021. Before that, the city raised rates 10% each year from 2014 to 2021, but those increases did not pay for major system upgrades. To keep service levels steady, the city has depended on strong general fund support. In 2023, the city wrote off $24.3 million in general fund loans to the water and sewer funds. Since then, the general fund has continued to cover costs that water and sewer funds cannot support. By the end of this fiscal year, we expect an additional $8.9 million will be used to support daily water and sewer operations. This support has kept rates low, but it cannot continue. It is not a stable long-term plan. The system needs a new rate structure that builds financial strength and keeps the system reliable. Because of this, City Council asked staff to begin a formal rate study. Staff hired Water Resources Economics in February 2025 to complete this study. The original plan included reclaimed water, but that part is on hold as the city explores an emergency project with Los Angeles County sanitation districts. The goal of the rate study is to develop a 5-year rate plan that allows water and sewer funds to stand on their own without ongoing help from the general fund. This slide shows the proposed water fund capital improvement program over the next 5 years. The cost is approximately $23 million, or $25.3 million after 4% annual inflation is accounted for. We initially proposed $43 million in project, but reduced the plan to minimize rate impact on residents and customers. We did that by focusing only on critical and essential projects that keep the water system operating. The main focus is building and upgrading our water wells. The first project is the C4 well, which includes a new well and treatment system at a cost of $16 million. Once C4 well is near completion, we plan to finish design and start construction of C5 well near the end of the cycle in fiscal year 29-30. These investments ensure reliable and sustainable water supply for the community. This slide outlines the general fund support needed over the next 5 years. Under the status quo plan in red, where rates stay the same, the water fund would need about $68.9 million from the general fund over the next 5 years. This amount is more than the city's projected general fund reserves and is not a stable path forward. The proposed rate plan in blue would lower the need for general fund help and phase it out over 4 years. Under this plan, general fund would provide approximately $9.5 million in total support, and water fund would be fully self-funded by July 1, 2029. This comparison shows why new rate structure is important. Water rates need to pay for daily operations and system upgrades. Nearly all water agencies follow this method to stay stable, reduce the use of general fund, and keep their water systems reliable. This approach supports policy direction set by the City Council. This slide outlines the proposed 5-year rate plan. It was built to meet Proposition 218 rules and standard industry practices. Staff reviewed future revenues, costs, and needed system upgrades to make sure the water fund reaches its minimum reserve levels by the end of the 5-year period. The plan includes yearly changes to both the fixed meter charge and the rate for water use. These changes would start in February 2026 if approved. Fixed meter charges were updated based on meter size to improve fairness and match the American Water Works Association guidance. The plan also removes the minimum water unit, so every gallon used is billed based on actual use. These updates improve equity across customers and set rates that better match the real cost to provide service. This slide compares our average home water bills to nearby cities. Our current rate is in yellow, and the proposed rate is in green. Even with proposed changes, Cerritos will stay among the most affordable agencies in the area. The average bill for a single-family home will remain lower than many nearby cities. On the commercial side, the story remains the same. Even with the proposed changes, Cerritos will remain very competitive. The average bill for a typical commercial customer will stay within the range of nearby agencies. Moving on to sewer. This slide shows how much general fund support, this slide shows how much general fund supports the sewer fund and needs under current conditions. Like the water fund, the sewer fund has relied heavily on general fund transfers. Under the status quo, or do nothing scenario, in red, it would need $12.1 million over the next 5 years. With the proposed sewer rates in blue, general fund support would be phased out over 5 years. Total transfers would be limited to $3.6 million, and the sewer fund would be fully self-sufficient by July 2029. As with the water fund, the sewer fund should operate independently with rates covering all operating and capital costs. This approach is standard in the industry, keeps the system stable, protects the general fund, and ensures long-term reliability. This slide outlines the proposed sewer fund capital program over the next 5 years. The total cost is about $3.9 million, or $4.3 million after 4% inflation is calculated. Like the water fund, we focus only on the critical projects. Of this total, the main focus is $1.2 million for CCTV inspection of the sewer system, followed by $2.4 million for sewer pipe replacement. These projects ensure the reliability of long-term safety of our sewer system. This slide shows the proposed 5-year sewer rate plan, built to follow Proposition 218 and industry standards. The plan starts with a larger increase in year 1, then smaller steady increases in the following years. These rates will fund about $3.9 million in critical system upgrades and gradually end general fund support. This slide compares the average home sewer bill in Cerritos to nearby cities. Even with the proposed changes, Cerritos will stay below the regional average. This shows the city's commitment to keeping rates affordable while moving towards self-sustaining utility. As you can see, currently sewer bill right now is in yellow, while green outlines the new proposed rate. In response to City Council direction, staff is proposing a water and sewer assistance program similar to SCE's CARE program, which gives income-qualified households a 32.5% discount. Eligibility is based on household size and income levels set by the CPUC. As of October 25, over 2,200 Cerritos households are enrolled in CARE, and staff estimates about 2,300 households could qualify for budgeting purposes. Instead of a percentage discount, the program would provide a fixed bi-monthly discount of $40. This helps to control costs and keeps the budget stable. Staff will return to City Council with more details at the public hearing scheduled for January 26, 2026. In line with Proposition 218, on November 13, 2025, all property owners and water and sewer customers were sent a notice of public hearing for January 26, 2026. The notice included the amount of the proposed rate changes, how the changes were calculated, the reasons for the changes, instructions for submitting a written protest, the date and time of the hearing. All written protests must be submitted in person or mailed to the city clerk no later than 5 p.m. Monday, January 26th, or received by the city clerk on January 26, 2026, before the public hearing ends that day. Moving on to the next steps and key milestones. A public hearing is scheduled for January 26, 2026, when the City Council may formally adopt proposed water and sewer rates. Staff will also present a refined low-income assistance program if Council chooses to move forward. If approved, the new rates would start in February 26, with annual adjustments each January through fiscal year 29-30. The schedule follows Proposition 218 and allows time for public outreach and customer education. This concludes my presentation. Myself and Director Papa are here for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that presentation. At this time, do any fellow committee members have any questions or comments on the presentation? None? Seeing none, we do have one written correspondence by Kowal Gupta.
Yes,
Can you please come up?
thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for keeping our water safe. I know it's a hard work. Few things I don't understand. If for 7 years we were not changing any price, how suddenly we are increasing so much? Even though if we are increasing, a regular household changes from $37.61 to $81.59, like more than 100% comparatively. Bi-monthly fixed private fire line charges, which is mostly for commercial, it's going down. First year, more than 50% down. Has anybody seen this? $163 to $80.61. Why not make it a even level play field? Increase for everybody with the same amount. Table number 3, sample 5-year water and sewer bill impacts. For residential, it's going $37.61 to $81.59. For commercial, it's going $255 to $361, like what, 50% change? Whereas residential is going more than 100% change. What is the reason we are favoring those commercial clients? Is there a reason for that? And when we are comparing that this is going to be our average, why do we compare to the higher paying cities? Why not compare to, let's say, Santa Fe, which is paying lower? What technique are they using? Why their prices are lower? So these are the few things. Hope the decision makers are smarter than me and will make sure a correct decision is made. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Secretary, sorry, just to clarify, do we continue into public comments at this time, or? Is there any additional public comments? Okay, so moving on, item agenda number 5, public comments and suggestions. We do have a written public card for Richard Keith. Please come up.
Good evening. Just to be brief on myself, I'm resident of Cerritos for 13 years. Been in law enforcement for over 30 years with the locals, and I just retired with the U.S. Marshals. I do budgeting on behalf of the government. I am a certified contractor on behalf of the government. So I understand safety very well. My question to the city is, a lot of our current residents are scared. There's a lot of crimes in terms of home burglaries. I heard of maybe a few home invasions. But question to the city, what has the city done for the community up to date? That's what we like to know, and what's the further involvement with the community to keep the community a little bit more at ease.
Thank you. At this time, would anybody else in the public have anything to speak? No? Okay, Mr. Secretary?
Prior to closing public comments, I'd like to note for the record that prior to the meeting, we received one written correspondence that was submitted by the deadline listed on the agenda. The correspondence has been distributed to the committee members. The written correspondence has been entered into the official record and is available upon request through the office of the city clerk during regular business hours.
Thank you. We'll be now closing public comments and move on to the consent calendar. Item 6A, we have the approval of minutes for Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Second. Okay, there was a motion by Member Wilson, seconded by Member Hom. All in favor? Aye. Those opposed? The motion passes. At this time, we'll be moving on to item agenda 7. Mr. Secretary, would you have a report for item 7A?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Item 7A is our regular review and consideration of informational reports on our community safety matters. Cerritos Sheriff Captain Strong will be providing a report, and he'll be supported by Deputy Wendland, who will be providing information on our traffic statistics. So I'll turn it over to Captain Strong.
Thank you for that, sir. So I'm going to go over to Part 1 crimes, and I'll address the gentleman's question that he had earlier during this. But first, we're looking pretty good overall, Part 1 crimes. Except for in the homicide section, we have 4. 2 of those are solved, and we're working diligently on the other one with some leads. Besides that, every other Part 1 crime is down, including residential burglaries. The city has put forth a great effort along with the Sheriff's Department to reduce this number. Currently, we're at a 37% reduction from the same time year to date the year before. So we went from 172 the same time last year to 108 this year. That stands as a 37% decrease. We've spoken about this at past council member meetings, but I'll just reiterate some of the things we've done. Change burglary audible alarm calls to priorities, reducing the calls for service by 50%. I checked today, we're at a 7-minute response to priority calls. So our goal was to get it down to 8 minutes. So we've got it down to 7. Our special problems team, 1 sergeant, 6 deputies, they perform patrol checks regularly in those areas hardest hit. The city's hired 3 full-time security officers to patrol those areas. Phase 1 and 2 of the automated license plate readers, they've been installed. Phase 3 has been approved. They're gaining all the equipment from the ALPR unit from the Sheriff's Department so that they can install those last set of ALPR cameras. Deputies have been through drone training, so we're utilizing drones in the city. Deputies are still involved in the Neighborhood Watch program. Our numbers have grown in that substantially. We're still utilizing the Green Bar Initiative. I want to remind everybody that it is the holiday season. We are in it now. There's always been a trend of an increase in residential burglaries during the holiday season. So please help us to help you by remember to keep an exterior light on, vehicle in the driveway, alarm signs if you have them, exterior cameras, interior cameras, doorbell, ring security, side gate, lock your side gates. Most of these individuals are coming in through the rear patio doors or through the rear portion of the house and breaking the glass and coming inside the residence. So the first line of defense there is going to be the side gate, locking the side gate. So please, utilize these this information that we publish online so you guys can protect your homes, and let's keep the numbers low to where they're at right now. In addition to what I already spoke about, Major Crimes Bureau has been out here to do a couple operations in the city in the past. LA Impact has performed an operation and apprehended some burglars a while ago. The pharmacies, which were hit very hard by burglaries, we've placed cameras in front of them, AI cameras, and we're utilizing those. In addition to that, we've partnered with Monair Security to have a trailer-style camera that reads license plates in the city as well. So we've done a substantial amount of work in the city to reduce burglaries, and that credit goes to the citizens, number one, the deputies, and the city itself and the city manager, who have all worked with us, and also the city council members that have, hand in hand walked with us through this journey to reduce residential burglaries. So we put our best foot forward, and I think the numbers so far right now are speaking for themselves with a 37% reduction. As far as home invasion burglaries, I haven't heard of any that have come across my desk that I'm aware of at this time. But we're working hard at everything to keep those low. The only other area that has seen I'm not going to say an uptick because it's down 1.86%, but vehicle burglaries, we've been noticing that some more of them have been occurring in the residential areas of the city. I want the community members to remain vigilant. Remember, the same things that apply a lot of times for the burglaries of your home apply for your vehicles as well. Lights in front of your house on. Try and keep the vehicles, if you can, out of the street. Try not to leave valuables within view inside the vehicle. Try to roll up the vehicle windows when you're not utilizing the vehicle. Remember to lock the doors on the cars if you're not using them. When people are at the mall, we're trying to get the mall to put up some signs to remind them to, same thing, don't have valuables showing, lock your cars, roll up your windows. We're using our social media also to try and get that information out. So, and the block captains, we want to try and utilize them to get that information also to the community to remember to lock the doors, roll up the windows, and try and place your car in a safe area with light on it. Besides that, the rest of the crime is looking really, really good. I'm pretty satisfied with this. We can always do better, but we're moving in the right direction. So that's all I have in regards to Part 1 crimes and crime in the city. Neil, if you'd go forth with the traffic.
Yeah, good morning, or good evening. So this last month, I saw a big uptake on actually single car instances. I can only assume that it's probably distracted driving, such as cell phone, and this is where cars are kind of veering off into center medians and on private property, kind of veering off into other parked cars. Again, they're not admitting to it, but I can only assume. Schools gave me a couple requests this time around. They're finding issues with pedestrians in the crosswalk and people aren't yielding curb to curb. We did make a couple enforcement stops. The violations weren't egregious where the person was just barely in the crosswalk, but they were well on the other side. We stopped and educated them and left it at that. Speeds seem to be really good around the schools. Parking and double parking to pick up kids. We're warning people. And some were cited for illegal U-turns within the area. Gridley and South, again, another major issue. And again, they're all, I think 5 out of 7 were single car accidents. And again, I can only assume they're probably cell phone violations. We did have the one fatal over on South in Norwalk. It was a single car fatal. It ran into a tree. Preliminary investigation is it may have had a medical emergency and crashed into the tree. He was the only occupant of the car. He was airlifted out of here to Long Beach Hospital. He passed away about a day later. Pine Canyon, Indian, and Creek Streets. I don't know if I'm familiar. Okay, so the motorists hit him pretty rough last week, and one day this week. I would say on average about 3 to 4 hours a day. They reported back to me they weren't getting a lot of speeders. I'm sorry, that was the complaint, speeding up and down the street. They wrote 3 tickets total, the time they spent there. They were all residents of the neighborhood that they wrote the tickets to. They didn't see the amount of speeders, however, my guess is maybe speeders saw them before the deputy saw them slow down. But we'll continue going out there next week. I got another call on it today, and I assured them we'd get out there for at least a day or 2 next week. And of course, the schools. Failure to yield and speed were the big ones, even on private property. That was it. And that's all I had to report for traffic. Any questions? No?
Yeah, we don't have any, I don't have any specific reports unless Captain Strong has any information on accidents in that area.
Yeah, that's likely that could happen. However, offhand, we don't have any reports that I can reference to say, yeah, that actually occurred. But it's likely that it occurred. There's common that traffic collisions occur on freeway exits and things like that. So.
Okay. Thank you, Captain Sergeant, for the report. Any other comments from the community members? Go ahead, Member Valentin.
Yeah, I have a question. Has there been any thought about putting a speed limit sign within the Civic Center parking? I got to tell you, between the schools in the morning and in the afternoon, and then just general people going in and out of the library, up on the level, first level, and even down below, people seem to think that's like a racetrack, and I don't see any speed limit signs. And it almost seems like need to have maybe we can park one of those little trailers that has tell you how fast you're going. There's so many people that are walking through that area. They go between cars, go through the bushes sometimes to get through. Has that ever been a thought?
Not to my knowledge. However, a fix for that would be one of the motors we could send out there to kind of monitor, see if we can find some speeders. And I know there's a lot of parents that are in a hurry picking up and dropping off their kids over there. We try to be somewhat lenient with them. We know it's hard to find spots to drop the kids off and pick them up. However, speeding is not going to be acceptable, right? Because we need to keep the community safe. So if you can just provide the times that's occurring, that you've noticed that, Sergeant Winland and his team will be happy to go monitor that and cite accordingly.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none. I would like to open up public comment on this item. So yes, if you can come up and state your name again.
My name is Kamal Gupta, 20-year residence in Cerritos. Thank you for maintaining the law and order situation so well. However, I would like to bring in your attention Claretta Avenue, which is from Delamo and next to Teslaf Middle School. Every night there will be ton of car parked. It is within the limit of Cerritos City. At least 1 or 2 will be commercial truck parked there. And if you drive further north on that street, every evening there will be 1 or 2 cars locked and you can smell the weed. Somebody is smoking inside. I don't know if that is legal or not. But it's right behind the nursery. Somebody will park, keep on smoking weed. But the parking overnight, it's a nuisance over there on Claretta, right opposite to Teslaf School. Thank you.
Yeah, I can respond to that if you like. Yeah, we have been made aware of that. That borders Lakewood City's jurisdiction. We've been sending units over there at night to go check that out. So we're aware of it. It's been brought to our attention.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the audience would like to come up? If you can, please restate your name. Thank you.
Richard Kith. As a parent, I have 2 kids that goes to one go to Carmenita and one goes to Gonzales. I'm there to pick them up, drop them off daily, and I've talked to both principals at the schools, and they're kicking and they're screaming. There's constantly, if you go there, there's all kind of vehicle violation in terms of parking, making illegal U-turns. And there's a lot of parents that are really angry. I understand the city's short-staffed. I get that. I've been there, done that. But at the same time, it's only a matter of time whether a student get run over or parents get run over. I just request that the city would be more vigilant, not in terms of citing, but at least just to be there in presence, because some parents are just yelling at each other, screaming at each other, calling each other out, challenging each other. This is something that I heard from other parents. This is my comment for the school and the safety.
Yeah, so we are aware, we have a lot of schools in the area, and those type of issues kind of go along with a lot of the schools. We send the motors units over there frequently to different schools, depending on when the issues arise. Being as though this issue has arisen that you brought it to our attention, we'd be happy to send a motor over there to go, hang out over there and see if anybody violates any laws, and just to keep it safe. A lot of times we'll put them over there. They'll hang out there for a little bit just to make sure everybody gets in and out of school safely, and that parents and everybody else know that we're there. We will cite. We don't want to cite. We prefer to give a warning the first time, but we will provide citations if necessary. And this has been a long, ongoing issue in the schools. We've heard it from multiple schools, not just there. So we are aware of it. We will send our motors over there, and Sergeant Wendland's heard, what you said, so I'm sure he'll send some motors over there to check that out for you.
Anyone else in the audience? If you can, please state your name.
Good evening. My name is Emmanuel Aparicio. Thank you for your presentations and reports to everybody. I just had a suggestion. Going back to burglaries, home burglaries, and auto theft, I know other cities like Lakewood and surrounding cities provide maybe discounts, or let's say the discount on ringers, the Ring doorbells. And I know Lakewood offers free, what do you call them? Not low jacks, but the clubs for vehicles. I don't know if the Cerritos is doing something similar, or if not, that would be my suggestion, if that can be brought up to City Council. Thank you.
So we did have the club program here recently. I think, as far as I know, from the team, they issued them all out. It was they put a flyer out. This is probably 2 months ago, maybe now, 3 months ago. They put a flyer out, emails out, and it was basically first come, first serve. Our plan is to get another shipment here probably next year, September-ish. And we'll definitely put another email out and get those clubs out to people. Yeah.
Okay. Seeing no one else in the audience, I would close public comments at this time. Committee members, any other additional comments or questions on this item? Seeing none, can we have a motion to receive and file the report?
Motion to receive and file.
Can I have a second? It's been motioned by Member Wilson, Vice Chair Wilson, and second by Member Ballantyne to file and receive the report. All in favor? Aye. Those opposed? The motion passes with the majority of the vote. Moving on to agenda number 8, reports from the committee staff liaison. Mr. Carey, do you have anything to report?
Nothing to report this evening. Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to reports from our community safety committee members, AB. Member Ballantyne? Nothing to report. Member De Leon?
I just want to thank there was an incident in front of my house today. I wasn't home, but I saw it on my ring, and I saw how quickly it was just a house alarm that was kept going off. And we appreciate the quick response, and definitely thank you very much.
In regards to that, we really appreciate the kind words. If at some point, anybody else runs into a situation where they appreciate what the deputies are doing, or they find that they went above and beyond, feel free to call the station and report that. It goes on their permanent record for something that they did positive. as well as if you have an issue, you can call the station as well if you're not happy with the service that you receive. But we really like those public comments. I think that a lot of people are very appreciative of what the deputies do, but sometimes they don't know how to report that. So we appreciate those kind words. Thank you.
Member Hum? Member Nem?
I had a call from a friend, neighbor, and their mail was stolen. And so just a reminder to maybe look into the key locked mailboxes because it's so easy just to grab. Easy solution. Thank you.
Thank you. Member 10? Vice Chair Wilson?
I have a couple of questions regarding our neighborhood watch and Mark. We wanted to know, a resident came to me and she said that she wanted to have a Saturday neighborhood watch meeting for the neighborhood, and Mark had told them that he couldn't be there because his hours were cut and there was no overtime. So how can we have neighborhood watch meetings on a weekend if Mark's not going to be there? And so was he able to let them know that they have an access to our neighborhood watch materials? Because I told her, well, you can have your meeting. Mark doesn't have to be there. She goes, well, he always brings the materials. And so maybe there's, they don't know how to access them. It's not clear to them, So is there a checklist or something that we can provide the new, block captains to have their meetings? And there's another question that is there a designated staff member or volunteer responsible now that Daryl's not there and Emily to update our neighborhood watch flyers, pamphlets, or whatnot? And are we using, the same ones that we've used, years ago? Well, let's update it. And we invite the community members that want to help co-create newer, more updated materials. And so that's one way. Plus, how are we getting our neighborhood watch block captains? There's a lot of residents. We have 53,000 residents in the city. And for our neighborhood watch, how are they finding out? There's a whole lot of people that aren't on social media. And I'm not making this political. Our politicians get out there and knock on doors and say, hi, I'm so-and-so. I want you to know. Then why can't we or Mark, or I'll do it, I'll help, or some of the other committee members go and knock on doors and inform the public of Neighborhood Watch?
Thank you very much for the question. The Community Safety Division has been going through a period of transition. As you all know, Community Safety Manager Daryl Evans retired earlier this year. We are in the process of preparing a recruitment for his position. So that process is ongoing. We do expect that to be taken care of here in the next 1 to 2 months is our hope. As it relates to our Neighborhood Watch program, the city is obviously a big proponent of that. I think Captain Strong would share in that sentiment. Neighborhood Watch are the eyes and ears of the community, and they're a great deterrent for crime in Cerritos, and they've accomplished quite a bit. As you pointed out, the city does support Neighborhood Watch in a variety of ways, and Mark Smith, one of our community safety officers, is the general point of contact for Neighborhood Watch information. So if residents have questions, they can still continue to reach out to Mark Smith in the Community Safety Office if they need to get information, handouts, flyers, whatever, for a Neighborhood Watch meeting. Mark can provide that as well. And as you pointed out, We do try to staff those meetings when we can. Unfortunately, we are a little bit short-staffed at this point. That kind of limits our availability to be able to do that. But residents are able to continue to have neighborhood watch meetings without having Mr. Smith present. So please feel free to continue to contact the Community Safety Office for information on Neighborhood Watch. And we appreciate the committee's support in that and the community's support for our Neighborhood Watch program.
And I had something else. Zone 54 was thrilled to welcome Fire Station 35 and our local deputies to this year's Halloween celebration. We want to extend our thank you to all the first responders who joined us and shared the moments with us and our neighborhood children. The families came out in spirit and the joy was amazing. Children, they had the exciting opportunity to interact with our heroes, and for some, even climb aboard the fire truck. A total of 527 candy bags were handed out, adding to the fun in the community fund, making our 8th year annual gathering of Zone 54 one of the largest and joyfulest Halloween neighborhood watch events. Again, we want to thank everyone who came out to help and make it special.
Thank you, Karen. Member Wilson? I do have one comment and 2 announcements to make. I'd like to thank the city and city staff for the paper shredding and compost event back on September 27th. I did attend that one, and I don't remember seeing the line as long from previous years. It went down all the way to almost 195th Street. So thank you. That's a good way to dispose of personal information in a safe way. And we have the City of Cerritos has a Christmas tree lighting ceremony this Monday, November 24th from 5 to 7 here at the Civic Center. And this is the lighting will be at 6 p.m. Okay. We will also, and there's also City of Cerritos will be having the Santa Sleigh Day at the CCPA on Saturday, December 6th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I hope everybody comes out during this festive season. And this being our last meeting of the year, I do hope everyone does have a safe holiday season. And this time we'll be adjourning the meeting at 7:43.